concentration camps, I think it's the right thing to say it over here. We'll say it together as one, without tears, without crying. But it hit me by Shemona Esrei something, as I was thinking of this, obviously, and then what Ari just said right now. Yeah, a certain confusion, a certain dizziness from the 2 days. The first day, when we came in, I was thinking, we're spending time with Chaim Brisk. Yeah, one day we'll be able to see Reb Chaim Brisk with Tchias HaMesim. You have a picture of what he looks like. I felt the caver, I learned by the caver. I read the hesped on the caver, what it was written about him. We were Reb Chaim Brisk, we were Chaim Soloveitchik, we were with the Netziv. You know, we were with others. Ger Rebbe, by the Sfas Emes, Kedush Harim. You could feel it, you could touch it. And there's going to be a Tchias HaMesim, it'll be up. And during the Shemona Esrei, when I walked into the Beis Adam, I made a bracha, we all made a bracha, Machaya HaMesim. The Taisa says when they get up, when the Mesim they get up in their glory, the way they went down. They have the same clothing. I think Taisa says in Kufiyat Aleph and Ksubis. It says they were in the same clothing that they were buried with at the end of their lives. You know, they say if he was young and he was nifty young, he looks like a youngster. And when a person is Zeichel Kvura, so it's like a Zriya. You know, he's being replanted. It's a rebirth. And tzaddikim, the bones, the flesh are not nerkav. It's there. They're alive. You know, tzaddikim are filled with misasa and chayim. It just hit me. I live in a crematorium. It hit me, and we have a pile of ashes outside, 30 feet of ashes. There's nothing to touch. Who is it? What is it? We're saying the bracha during Shemona Esrei, Machaya HaMesim. What surah they come up as? There's no existence. It's Efer. How could it be like Ari said? How can there be a Nechama? You know, my parents were nifta over the last few years. You go to the Keva, you speak, you daven, you can read, you memorize. There's something there. You can visualize it. You know, when somebody's Zeichel Kvura, you know, it's something real. It's gone. There's no, what's here? It's so hard, such a hard nechama to have. Such a hard when you say Chaya Meser, Neman Atal Hachias Mesim. What are you holding on to? You know, I never realized it, but Rav Schwab says that. He says, V'lo matzevis eifo livkis. No tombstones to which to weep. Yevavis leva roseach, the sobs of a heart burning with emotions. Who? Rak nichse adam as korosam. The only thing that's here is the libations of blood, the memorial. And v'harei afrei akedasam, the mountains, and this is the place of all the concentration camps. This is the one that has the mountains of ashes. The Hare, it's the mountains of ashes of the Akedah. The Akedah is not just like Akedah Yisrael, but the whole Hadairis. There was always an Akedah because people died because they were Yidden. Trumais Dishne Mizbeach, that's the elevated portions of the Mizbeach. There's nothing physical to hold on. There's no closure when it comes to this. True is a closure. There's no nechama. So how do you understand it? What can we do? So I think the answer is because there's a certain type of misa that's there's nothing physical to hold it. There's a kedusha sometimes that just can't be even held by anything physical. By the Kodesh Kodashim, there was an Aron. The Aron was Einam and Amida. It did not follow the measurements over there. It was just too high, too holy. And there's no matzeva, because it can't be a matzeva. You have such a death of so many people in Klal Yisrael who were killed, 6 million people, because they were Jewish. 6 million people. If you want to put it in perspective, it's so hard. The number 6 million is always very hard. I always had a rough time. Like, what's 6 million? You had a minute of silence for every Yid that was killed in the Holocaust. If you did 1 minute for each one, it would take us 12 years, 24 hours a day. If you did name by name, if you just mentioned the name and thought about it for a minute, total minute, it would take a person 12 years, 24 hours a day. As Aaron said, they're individuals, people who relate to us, family members, people at that time who knew, they knew the people. That's what a Churban Europe was. And he says, "V'lo matzevis eifa." There are no matzevis. Yesterday I was so touched by the Reb Chaim, by the Nitzir, and Ger, and today the Chazim Lublin, the Marshal, and I'm lost. It's not even words. It's a feeling of like, who, what? Because Baruch Hu's crying for every individual, individually. We're trying to get a hold on 6 million, and we can't even grasp it. But that's Kedusha. They were Kedoshim. And that was part of the Akedah Yitzchak. Now I have a picture. You see the Afer over there. The picture of HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, by Yitzchak Avinu, is offered Tzara al Gabi Mizbeach. That Afer is always there of Akedah Yitzchak. And that's what keeps us going, throughout the generations. That's the Zechus, Akedah Yitzchak, the Zara Tzizkar. That's the Zikaron Toiv that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has, that we're willing to give up our lives al Kiddush Hashem, and to live our lives al Kiddush Hashem. Ki alecha haragnu kol hayayim. And that's there for us, and that's what we experience over here. And the offer tzara gavish beth, no kli can hold it. And it's fascinating thing is that we don't paskin like it, but there's the Marach or Zarua says as follows. He says that he paskins that if an almana of a person who died al Kiddush Hashem cannot get remarried. And Shiloh's, why not? Why can't she get married? He talks to either Kavod HaMeis, or the person who died in such a Kedusha, it's a covered for him that she shouldn't be remarried, or it's covered HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But as Chaim says that the reason is because he's a Kli Shoresh. He has a din of a Kli Shoresh, and a Kli Shoresh that was Nishtamesh L'Kedusha. So that she has a din of Kli Shoresh. She was Mishamesh a Kodesh. And a kli that's mishamish or kodesh can't be used for some other thing. See, it affects not just the person itself. It has a kedusha on those who are around that person, one who's married. She has a kli kodesh, as a kli kodesh, kli kedusha, kli sharis, and she can't be therefore used for somebody else. Yeah, it goes a shtuko hand in hand. There's a Sefer Chassidim that says if a knife that was used to kill somebody al Kiddush Hashem, so besides the fact that we bury the knife in the same kvura with the nifter, with the one who's killed, but besides that, it can never be used for shchita. You can't have enough of it. So in the Hagais and the Sefer Chassidim by the Me'arik, so he says over there, the reason is, it's a klei sharis. It was a kli. It was a weapon of murder. Yeah, from the one who killed, the Nazi perspective, from the right. It's a weapon of murder. But in terms of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's eyes, in terms of our eyes, that was a kli that was used for a mitzvah of Kiddush Hashem. And it's a Kli Shoris. And therefore, Kli Shoris, you're not allowed to have any Hanafa. And that's why it's Nikbar with the Kaddish. And there's the Mariel and others discuss, you say Kaddish for a person that was killed out of Kiddush Hashem. Because maybe he's so holy, you don't need a Kaddish for him. The Kaddish is there to mechaper for any small thing that the person needs some type of kapara for. But this person, there's no need for kapara. And there's no Kaddish. And there was a whole shiloh back and forth, you say Kaddish on such a person. And we're now, right now, in a different type of Beis Olam. You know, we were in Beis Olam that there was a Kaddish for, that I could touch, that I could have a picture of. And now we're in a Beis Olam that doesn't exist. A Beis Olam that there might not be a Kaddish. A Beis Olam of total Kedusha. A Beis Olam of what Avraham Avinu said, V'anoichi Ofarei, when he wanted to describe the total his batless to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, this total adivus. V'anoichi Ofar means I have potential. Afer means and there's nothing left. With the Afer of the Avraham Avinu, the offered Sover of Yisrael, by the Mizbeach, and it's for that gives us the life. You know, we exist because of that. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu smiles upon us. The whole Hatava is really based on that. There's one thing we can do. There is the Bach. It's something which maybe we should try to be makpid on. The Bach in the Shulchan Aruch, and we'll be by the Bach tomorrow. The Bach in Shulchan Aruch says that when you say Kriya Shema, so besides the fact you have to say Be'ema or V'yira, doesn't say meticulously fear and trepidation. When you say V'chol Nafshecha, you have to think as if you're Meiser Nefesh, as if you're in the ovens, in the fires, you're in the crematoriums, and you're dying Al Kiddush Hashem. And when you do that, so what happens is, it's kind of pasuk Ki Alecha Haragnu Kol Hayom. You know, Ki Alecha Haragnu Kol Hayom, all day and every day. I'm dying Al Kiddush Hashem. Obviously, it doesn't mean that physically die Al Kiddush Hashem because it can't be every day and it can't be all day. It means that I'm willing to be Meiser my Nefesh. Al Kiddush Hashem. B'chol levavcha v'haftos Hashem akacha b'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol moedecha. With everything that we have, it needs to live Al Kiddush Hashem, and that's how we can connect. And when we do that, we might not say Kaddish, we might not know who we're connecting to, but we're connecting to all the neshamas, the 6 million neshamas. The 6 million people that were killed, we connect to them through our feelings of Mesiras Nefesh, that we want to be with you in a Mesiras Nefesh of Ki Alecha Haragnu Kol Hayom, to Makabel Ol Malchus Shamayim, that Kriya Shema, with that same strength, with that same commitment as our Kedoshei Elyon, who, when they went to the death, many of them, they went to death with the Shema Yisrael, Hashem Al Kir, Hashem Echad, with their Kabbalahs, Ol Malchus Shamayim.